We are back with the EX30, Volvo's smallest electric vehicle available in India. Well, Siddharth has already reviewed it, so today let's take a look at some of the quirks that this baby Swede packs and even how it drives in India. When you see it from a distance, you'll think it's small. Because it is small, you may even mistake it for a large hatchback. But when you come closer, you'll see it's quite a compact SUV. Some may even think it looks like the Hyundai Tucson, but in fact, it's quite similar in size to the Hyundai Creta. While this is 4.2 meters long, the Creta is 4.3 meters long. It's even shorter in height by 85 millimeters compared to the Creta. But it's wider by 48 millimeters and the wheelbase is longer by 40 millimeters. So does that mean it feels smaller in size inside than the Creta? But before that, let me quickly tell you how do you get inside the car. There's a physical key. It's in shape of a card that can fit inside your wallet, and you have to tap on the B pillar to unlock the car. You can also use an app inside your smartphone to do that. But if you use the key, you have to place it in the wireless charger for it to be detected and the car to start. Kind of a cumbersome thing taking the key out of your wallet every time. The EX30 is quite spacious for its dimensions. The front passengers will have decent amounts of space to be comfortable. But when you hop into the back seat, that's where you start to see some glaring misses. I'm 5 foot 11 inches and there's barely any under thigh support. I can't even stretch my legs under the driver's seat because there's not enough space. Shorter passengers though will not face an issue. That said, the seats are well cushioned and it'll be good for short to medium journeys. 3 average size passengers will find it slightly difficult to fit in the back seat. I think Volvo is aiming at buyers who'd prefer to drive the car, and for them it's great. But majority of the Indians prefer to have a chauffeur, and for them it could be a deal breaker. Volvo hasn't thought much about the rear passengers because there's no rear AC vent and you only get 2 USB-C points. Even if the back seat was meant for children, there should have been a provision for rear seat entertainment or at least a dock to attach a tablet. This 12.3-inch infotainment touchscreen is the largest we've seen from Volvo in India, and of course it runs on Android operating system too. And let me quickly point out that finally Volvo has given it wireless Apple CarPlay. Still there's no Android Auto, but wireless connectivity. Thank you, Volvo. A big miss for Volvo is omitting that instrument cluster. Now, all of your drive related information is right here on that touchscreen at the top. I get the concept of minimalism and putting everything on the touchscreen, but it's a bit irritating to check the touchscreen all the time. I have to look here to see what speeds I'm doing, whether my ADAS is on, or even which settings my headlights are in. A head-up display would have been nice. The EX30 uses a lot of recycled materials as Volvo wants to become more sustainable. That's a good thing, and even the dashboard trim is made of recycled denims. Looks cool, no? So you have 2 stalks behind the steering wheel. One controls the indicators and the wipers, and the other is for selecting the gear. So you must be wondering, how do you adjust the headlights? Well, you go into this touchscreen, you go into vehicle settings, select exterior lights, and then you have all the options from auto to dip beam to parking lights to off. But that's not all. You click on any of these settings, you have to confirm it by pressing the OK button on the steering wheel. Kind of complicated, no? If you want to adjust your mirrors, the entire housing moves and not just the glass. Again, controlled by those buttons on the steering wheel. Now the EX30 has lots of cool Easter eggs in the car. Some are hard to find and some are thrown right at your face. The one that will be the most difficult to find is in the tray that pops out of the center console. The boot and front ones are the easiest to spot. The 318-liter boot space is good enough for a couple of weekend bags, but the 7-liter trunk is good enough for a bag of air. The EX30 in India comes with a single variant, the single motor extended range. Its 69 kWh battery pack is good for up to 480 kilometers, and the single motor on the rear axle churns out a healthy 268 brake horsepower and 343 Newton meters. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes in just 5.3 seconds. The EX30 makes more than enough power than you'll ever need. It does a decent job on the highway, easily maintaining triple-digit speeds, and has enough grunt for overtaking as well. We haven't driven it in the city, but we feel it will be fun to drive there as well. Ride quality isn't bad, but it isn't the best either. Because of the 19-inch wheels, you'll feel a little bit of the bumps, and a slightly thicker tire profile would have just made it better. Now the biggest part, price. What's it going to be? You'll have to wait till the end of September to know exactly what that is, but we can take a guess, right? Size-wise, the EX30 is smaller than the EX40, but it's based on a newer platform. Even globally, the EX30 is cheaper than the EX40, and same should be the case in India, right? So the ideal price for this baby Swede should be, wait for it, 42 to 45 lakh rupees. A sweet spot. At this price, it competes squarely with the Hyundai Ioniq 5, but that's bigger than the Volvo. The Mini Countryman E and BMW iX1L are pricier but also much larger, while the BYD Atto 3 is cheaper but larger still. The EX30 drives well, has good amount of features, and of course comes with Volvo's safety credentials. If priced right, it will be a game changer for Volvo in India.